Dan Williams. Professor Williams came to Northeastern University School of Law from an illustrious career as a tireless lawyer and advocate. In his work at Capital Defenders in New York, he was responsible for the case that set aside the death penalty in New York State. He arrived here in the fall of 2004, and he's taken the school by storm. As this election by this class recognizes, he brought the same intensity and commitment, and as it turns out, very good humor, to his teaching at Northeastern that he demonstrated in his past life of practice.
Wow, I wish you could see what I see. You guys are just absolutely beautiful. Really. You know, the first time I ever spoke at an entire law school class was 3 years ago in room 97. It was your first day here, and it was mine too. Now, 3 years later, you've given me the honor to speak to you again. And I want you to know something. I want you to know that you're special to me, you, class of 2007. And that's why I'm going to reveal something to you that you probably don't know. I like to hitchhike. When I graduated law school, I did a bit of hitchhiking. Now, I'm not going to talk to you about hitchhiking specifically, but I'm going to talk to you about the spirit behind hitchhiking, what I call the vagabonding spirit. I've come to believe that I've learned more from vagabonding than anything I've learned sitting in a classroom. Vagabond comes from the French word vagare, meaning to wander. A vagabond, according to the dictionary, is a wanderer. To me, a vagabond is a free spirit. But I suppose most people, when they hear the word, conjure up an image of an aimless drifter living on the fringes of society. I want you to banish that image from your mind. I'm not urging you to become a hobo and journey through the middle of this United States of amazement, jumping from cargo train to cargo train, though I certainly don't discourage you from doing such a thing. But because time is short, I want to get at this vagabonding spirit by contrasting vagabonding with tourist traveling. And I'm going to paint with very broad strokes. In a very general sense, vagabonding is everything that tourist traveling is not. Now, whether you think I'm really talking about life is entirely up to you. Tourists pack a lot of things. Vagabonds pack what's minimally necessary. Tourists are afraid of being away from home and not having that particular pair of shoes that they're going to need for that 4-star restaurant. But vagabonds make friends, get invited to dinner, and wear their tattered hush puppies to their homes. Tourists go online to make reservations. Vagabonds book the details of their trip through travel agents with names like serendipity, coincidence, and chance. Tourists get to their destination, unpack, plop down exhausted on their king-size beds in their hotels before hitting all the rip-off tourist attractions. Vagabonds find a plot of green grass underneath an ancient tree, unshackle themselves from their backpacks, which now become their backrest pillow, and they get a high off of being someplace new. Tourists spend their money shopping and visiting the sights, tuning out the world. Vagabonds tune into the world. They connect with other people. They get their kicks from connecting with other people, listening to them with all their hearts. Tourists are weighted down with things, with plans, with anxieties. But vagabonds float like seagulls over crashing waves. Tourists want to get away from it all. Vagabonds want to get into it all. They want to be plugged into what's real. Tourists spend lots of money. Vagabonds understand the truth of the old adage. The less money you spend, the more you'll know the people and the places you visit. The risk of spending money when you travel is that you end up purchasing an artificial experience. And artificial experiences don't energize you. And when you're not energized, you're not living. The feeling you get in your soul when you unleash your vagabonding spirit, that free spirit inside you, is the feeling you get when you take off a tight pair of shoes. I'm here to invite you to look inside yourself and greet that vagabonding spirit. It's there, I promise you. It's there inside you. Maybe it's frightened. Maybe it's coughing and wheezing there in the corner of your soul from being choked so often through these years we call formal education. But it's still alive inside you. Nobody is celebrating your graduation more from formal education than that vagabonding spirit there inside you. So long as your heart is beating and your synapses are firing, your vagabonding spirit lives on. Your vagabonding spirit, that yearning to break free of a programmed existence. Traveling on the loose and cheap, being a free spirit, is all about demolishing the slow death march of a programmed existence. Now, I want to say something about maps, because you can't talk about traveling without talking about maps. And this, to me, is the heart of the matter. I love maps. I need maps. I use maps. We all do, don't we? But we have to be wary of becoming too dependent on maps. Tourists are always looking at the map. Because God forbid that you're lost. God forbid that occasionally in this journey we call life, you're lost. Tourists believe in the map. Vagabonds believe in magic. The magic of letting yourself go. Of having faith in yourself. The magic that comes when you welcome the fact that you don't know where you are. Dorothy, the Wizard of Oz, didn't know where she was. Dorothy was a vagabond. Now, I've met the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Lion many times. Some of them have been clients. I've taken many cases down that yellow brick road, and I've gone to the place of the wizard. We call that place the courthouse. And I'm here to tell you that that whiny little old man behind the curtain really is a judge. We have some judges because actually that little whiny old man is a law professor. You'll get a lot of interesting cases and represent a lot of interesting people if you practice law with even a little bit of the vagabonding spirit. You'll definitely have a lot more fun. But back to maps and not getting lost. You've probably been asked a zillion times in the run-up to this day, so what's next? Where are you going? And you want so badly not to give that dreaded answer.